Now, you may have heard that rabbits like carrots, but the truth is, it's a matter of personal taste. Now, Brother Rabbit, he himself preferred lettuce. Oh, the taste of a juicy head of lettuce would just make him drool. And the best lettuce in the whole county was being grown by Brother Fox. The problem was, Brother Fox was smart enough to have a rabbit-proof fence around his lettuce patch. And his lettuce patch was inside the gate to his farm, and that was rabbit-proof too. So Brother Rabbit would just sit there looking at that field of lettuce and thinking how wonderful it would be to be able to get in there and eat as much lettuce as he wanted every day. Well, one day when he was sitting there looking, little Miss Fox came down from the house, down to the gate, opened the gate, came out, and went out along the road. Now, Brother Rabbit didn't know it, but little Miss Fox was going off to school. Well, in a few hours, she came back, went in the gate, and went back up to the house. And Brother Rabbit, he started thinking himself, maybe there's an idea here. The next morning, he was waiting. And as little Miss Fox came out and opened the gate, there was Brother Rabbit. And he said, "Well, I'm here. I'm ready to start work." And she said, what? "Sure, your daddy hired me as the new scarecrow to keep birds out of the fruits and vegetables." "Oh, okay, sure." And she held the gate open for him. And Brother Rabbit, he hopped in and stood himself there where the heads of lettuce were, and he started waving to shoo away any birds. Well, little Miss Fox, she went off to school, and Brother Rabbit, he sat himself down for his breakfast of a head of lettuce. And oh, it was so good. Now, to be fair, the sound of crunching that lettuce did scare birds away, so no birds got into the lettuce field that day. By the time that Miss Fox came back that afternoon, Brother Rabbit, he was full. He was let out by Miss Fox. Miss Fox went up to the house, and Brother Rabbit went home. Well, the next morning he came back and did the same thing. And the next, and the next, and the next. Now, Brother Rabbit probably should have left well enough alone and not been so greedy, but that lettuce was so good, he kept going back day after day, eating a head of lettuce and scaring away the birds and then going home. But one day, Brother Fox said at the dinner table, "You know, it looks like varmints have been getting into the lettuce. There are heads of lettuce missing." And little Miss Fox said, "Maybe you should ask your new scarecrow." And Brother Fox thought to himself, "New scarecrow, huh? Maybe I should ask." And the next day, he watched as his daughter went down the hill and opened the gate, and there came Brother Rabbit in the gate as his daughter went off to school. Well, Brother Fox, he got himself a little rope, and he took it down and watched as Brother Rabbit began eating lettuce. And Brother Rabbit was so busy eating the lettuce, he didn't hear Brother Fox coming up behind him. And the first he knew that he was in trouble was when Brother Fox grabbed him by the leg, held him upside down, and said, "Now, you've been filling yourself with my lettuce. I think it's time you give back. I think it's time for you to be rabbit stew." And he tied one leg of Brother Rabbit, and he threw the rope over the limb of a tree and tied it and left Brother Rabbit swinging back and forth from the limb of that tree as he went to get himself an axe. Well, Brother Rabbit was pretty scared, but he got to thinking real quick, and he thought, "I'm hanging upside down, swinging from the limb of a tree, and I have no idea how I'm going to get out of this." But down the road, he heard someone coming. Someone big. It was Brother Bear. And Brother Bear came along, and he looked over that fence, and he saw Brother Rabbit swinging back and forth and back and forth. And don't you know, Brother Bear, he was intrigued. He was curious. He was puzzled. He went up to that fence and said, what you doing? And Brother Rabbit, he had himself an idea, and he said, why, Brother Bear, I'm relaxing my back. Why, this relieves the strain of every day hopping around and walking and jumping and all those things you do. Why, this is the most relaxing thing I have felt in I don't know how long. And Brother Bear looked and said, can I try that? And Brother Rabbit said, well, if you come in here, we can tie your foot up here and see if it works for you too. Okay. Well, that fence may have been rabbit-proof, but it was not bear-proof, and that bear climbed right over that fence as if it weren't there. And he went up, and he untied Brother Rabbit's foot, and he put his paws down and with his own hind legs up in the air, and Brother Rabbit helped him tie his own foot to that tree. Now, you may not have thought about this, but bears are a lot bigger than rabbits. And so that rope that was hanging Brother Rabbit up there swinging back and forth barely kept Brother Bear off the ground as he swung back and forth and bumped his nose at the end of each swing. And he bumped and bumped. And Brother Bear said, my back feels good, but my nose hurts. Oh, don't worry about that. It'll get better. Well, Brother Rabbit, he hid himself behind a tree and waited to see what was happening, because he could hear Brother Fox coming down from the house. And there came Brother Fox carrying that axe to carve himself up a rabbit for rabbit stew. And there was Brother Bear swinging from the limb of the tree. And Brother Fox, he wasn't paying attention to that. He was just thinking to himself, all the things you need for rabbit stew. And as he came around that tree, I do not know who was more surprised, Brother Fox carrying that axe, or the upside-down Brother Bear swinging back and forth from that tree. But the first thing that happened was Brother Fox looked, and instead of a rabbit there was an upside-down bear, and he went, ah! And Brother Fox, well, he dropped that axe and ran back up to the house, and Brother Bear, who was the one swinging, saw Brother Fox with an axe, and he went, ah! And he ripped his foot out of that rope and broke the branch of that tree the rope was attached to and went tearing off through what was left of that rabbit-proof fence. And Brother Fox didn't stop till he'd gotten inside his house and locked the door that he hoped was bear-proof. And Brother Rabbit, he came out from behind one of the trees, got himself another head of lettuce, and hopped off home. He decided that maybe stealing lettuce was just too much work. And that was the story of Brother Rabbit and the lettuce.